Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about Love is Blind, Season 6, Episode 10.
We almost there, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. I almost didn't make it to the end of this episode.
Oh.
I almost didn't make it. You see, when we decided to do this reality TV show, I did not, this reality TV show review channel, I didn't watch reality TV. I didn't understand why y'all watch it. I thought it was kind of silly. I watched this episode. I felt so much emotions.
You did?
I felt so much emotions rising up within me.
Okay.
And I was like, this is what y'all watch it for. Y'all watch it for these emotions
for
and
the
these
thrill.
feelings. No, it wasn't thrilling.
Okay.
It was anger. Okay. You ready to get into this?
Yes.
Subscribe, like, share, comment, all the above. We are almost at 1,000 subscribers. Get us to 1,000 subscribers with this video. We need about 60 more of y'all. You ready, Blair?
I'm ready.
Let's go.
Jeremy meets up with his mom.
Yeah.
He tells his mom about the Sarah Ann bar situation, how Laura reacted.
Mm-hmm.
He's saying that they talked, he came back home, and Laura was pissed. His mom says, "You're lucky it wasn't me."
I like that.
It would have been way worse. He didn't realize he might lose a fiance over that, and mom says, "I could have told you that. If only you would have called me."
Yeah, something about their interaction and her reaction to what he was telling her. She was like, "I know my son.
Yeah.
I know my son be on that bull-ish." You get what I'm saying? And she didn't look, what's the word? Surprised is not the right word, but when he was telling her the what happened, her face and her whole aura was like, of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a great way to put
like,
it.
Of course.
Yeah.
You.
Yeah.
It's you. You know? What did you think of that scene?
No, I totally agree with that. She didn't seem angry. She didn't seem like she wanted to yell at him and be like, "What are you doing?" She was just like, "And that's what you be doing." I guess we'll see if we get another one. Pretty much. Yeah. Chelsea and Jimmy.
Yeah.
They go out to eat to meet Jimmy's parents and his sister. They talk about how they connected in the pods.
Yeah.
And they are both ready for serious relationships. And they both also want kids.
Stop right there for a second. Chelsea did something that was, I know I'm picking at her, but I'm going to pick at her this episode.
Okay.
When the mother and father was walking up the ramp to greet them, right? Jimmy went to go hug his mom first, as he should.
I saw that.
Right? And then she was like, "Get out of here," as in like she wanted to hug him for why? Relax. She's always in this like calm yourself down, okay? Get a hold of yourself. Have some coof about yourself, please. I just wanted to point that out. Chelsea, this episode will be about you. I'm just letting you know this right now.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
The sister asked, "What makes you think you're ready for marriage?"
Yeah.
I thought Chelsea was going to bring up her last marriage, but I'm actually thankful she didn't.
Yeah.
Chelsea says that they communicated well and they handle conflict well. When Jimmy thinks of the type of woman he wants as a wife, he thinks of Chelsea. The parents say they like her. They say it to her in front of her face.
Yeah.
And the mom tells her that she's a sweet and beautiful person. She can see their connection, and the parents, they've been together for over 43 years.
Is there any point of this interaction that you are believing Jimmy when he said he loves and he likes Chelsea?
I actually am. When he's like with and around his family, I feel more convinced that he actually does like Chelsea. And the family's not giving me any pause as though they're questioning him. So this was probably the first time I actually believed Jimmy when he said that he was into Chelsea. What about you?
Whatever you had to do to manifest those feelings, Jimmy, pass that on to me, man. Pass that on. Whatever manifestation you did, staring in the mirror, taking long walks and things like that, because you manifested your love for Chelsea. Because at first we can go back to episode 4, 5, and things of that nature, 6 even, to where Blair was saying, you were saying it, but there was nothing behind it. But now we can say, hey, there's a little something behind it now. So whatever power manifestation you have, Jimmy, pass that on to me, because I want to manifest some things. Okay? Because I ain't going to hold you. I kind of believe it too. You know what I mean? I kind of believe it too.
Well, AD has her mommy, Clay.
Yeah.
She is telling her mom that she planned like a DIY night with like arts and crafts, and she wrote him a card, but it's still sitting there. So I think the insinuation was that he didn't come home last night.
He did not come home last night.
Well, Clay arrives, and as soon as he comes in, the mom is asking him questions, but for me, it's like a lot of word vomit from him.
I wrote that exactly in my notes too. I said
did?
Vomit of the mouth.
Yeah.
Vomit of the mouth. Because she asked one question and then he just He just went.
I mean, he was laying out his whole life story to her, which I don't think is bad necessarily.
I think it's terrible.
Okay, but I feel that, wow, like he's really giving a lot of information that wasn't even really asked.
Yeah, you're right.
So Clay works in tech sales. He does stuff with Airbnb. Yeah. He rents out jet skis, and he's been working a lot. And he has felt bad about his schedule. That's I guess that's the part of the word vomit. And I'm just like, okay, like now you're trying to rope the mom into your issues. And I'm just like, that's between you and AD to work out. But whatever. Mom asks what he feels about marriage, and he wants to get married, and he feels that his wife should be his best friend. He thinks AD is a walking testimony of the woman he wants. He brings up the proverb scripture about not leaning on your own understanding.
You know how I feel about people who bringing God in out of nowhere.
Right. He shares his struggles with his parents, and the mom is confused, and she's like, what do you mean struggles about your parents' relationship? And the mom tells him, look, your parents' stuff is on your parents. It's not on you to pick up whatever issues that they've had and create them as your own. She says you have your own life, pretty much live your own life, make your own choices. Amber told her mom that she could follow him. This is when he gets up and I guess uses the bathroom. I thought he went to go to work. I didn't think he was coming back.
He was gone for a minute. Yeah. He was gone for a minute.
Yeah. And the mom is saying, I've never heard AD say that she could follow a man. Mom tells him that you need to find things to ground you and bring you back when he eventually does come back. Yeah. And she thinks about she's telling him, think about all the good things that your parents did and the fact that they did stay together as long as they did. They deserve credit for that. And the mom likes him. She tells AD he's a man, but he's scared. Okay. He has substance. AD starts crying. And she appreciates her mom for being there. He can't take on his parents' failure. She said that she'll follow him off a cliff without a parachute. And mom tells her, you need to tell him that, and you guys need to fight together for your relationship. Yeah. Clay, this is when Clay comes back. Yeah. And while the mom is saying he's worth fighting for, he says he needs to hear that, and he's willing to fight for AD. Mom calls them Barack and Michelle. They call each other like what the broke down ghetto Barack and Michelle. But she's like,
talk about the ghetto Barack and Michelle. Yep.
Yeah, but she's like, they had to start from somewhere too. So
can I ask you a question?
Yes.
I said, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
All right. You ready?
Yes.
Do you think AD is beautiful?
Yes.
Do you think AD thinks she's beautiful?
I do.
I don't.
Because she's putting up with this?
In this scene, I was like, oh. Her projection kind of lets me see a glimpse of how she view herself. When the mother kept talking and when they kept talking and things of that nature, she kept saying, this is AD. Isn't he gorgeous? Isn't he good looking? He's a looker. Things that are external. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? And sometimes your insecurities you project them. Basically, look, he looks good. He looks good, don't he? He looks good, don't he? You get what I'm saying? For one, let me address AD a little bit. I will follow you off a cliff without a parachute because I trust that you will catch me, but he can't come home at night.
That's the point.
I need some arithmetic, some pre-algebra, some type of math. I will follow you off a cliff without a parachute. I trust you that much because I trust you will catch me, but your little DIY project is at home rotten. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't like what the mother was doing this episode. There's a difference between supporting and filling your head with sweet nothings. Okay. And I felt like the mother was definitely saying a lot of things that, quote unquote, she don't have the facts or any evidence to support that. She don't know Clay. AD don't know Clay. You get what I'm saying? So a lot of things that she was saying, which kind of also gave me a glimpse into AD's insecurity, in my opinion. She said, I never heard you say that you would follow someone. And I was like, I think AD have major insecurities when it comes to the external things. Because it made me think about, like, and I don't want to be this type of person, but I'm going to be that type of person. When she was introduced to Clay, when they first saw each other in person and things like that, remember, she showed him the things that, quote unquote, would get her points, her body. You get what I'm saying? So, and things that she wears, I'm not trying to quote unquote put any judgment on what she wears. I think what she wears is beautiful, but I don't think she thinks that she's as beautiful as we believe she is, because she kept projecting to Clay, he's gorgeous, ain't he? He's a looker, ain't he? As in trying to get points for him for external things. I'm just like, it doesn't matter if anybody thinks he's beautiful or gorgeous. Why are you like trying to like put that on him? Even when she was like, he's filled with I think the mother or like one of them said like he's filled with substance. What substance is he filled with? Where all you kept saying is when you just kept complimenting on him how beautiful and good looking he is. So I'm like, I don't know, AD. I think you have some insecurities there when it comes to that, and you also have some major issues as well when you say you're willing to follow somebody off the cliff without a parachute when the guy can't. Y'all can even adjust on when he comes home and when he don't come home.
Yeah.
And I think it's a major problem, a big problem that he doesn't come home, especially since he knew the night before that he was going to meet with your mom.
Yeah, I have a lot more to dig into with them, but they have other conversations that I want to like expound on.
Oh, is there anything else in this scene that I left out or anything?
No. You touched all the points in the scene. I do feel like with the mom, she was trying to be very supportive.
Yeah.
And I can agree with you to the point of sweet nothings, because you don't know this man.
No.
You do not know this man. And he's being polite and all that type of stuff. And sure, fine. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying give him a hard time, but to really say that y'all are like Michelle and Barack and y'all got to fight for this and all this type of stuff. Let's see how he treats your daughter first.
I'm about to say, like,
let's see like how he acts. He didn't come home last night.
No.
Like, let's have some thought behind this instead of just pushing for a relationship.
And he don't care who mama he meet with. He don't care what mama he meets with. He do this when he about to meet his mama not coming home, and he do this when he about to meet your mama not coming home. It's just something that's very like, it's kind of like keeping up with the Joneses and things like that, where externally it looked like they got the money and things like that, but really they broke. It's like she wants the picture perfect look of he gorgeous, right? And I look good, right? We look good together. But really there's some under the table, under the surface type of things that's like really messed up between AD and Clay. And I think personally with them two, like, there's some things about AD that I think she needs to work on, some things about Clay that he needs to work on for sure.
But at the same time, I'm wondering how serious AD is taking him. I don't feel, if I had to compare, which I don't usually like to compare people.
You don't have to compare.
But I'm going to do it anyway. For Chelsea, it seems like she really, really wants to be with Jimmy and to have this marriage thing work with Jimmy. AD, I don't know if she wants Clay to that desire.
Yeah.
I think she likes him. Mm-hmm. I think she enjoys being around him. I think she thinks he's attractive. Mm-hmm. But I think she could take or leave it.
Yeah, I don't agree with anything with Chelsea. I think Chelsea's the worst example.
Okay.
Because Chelsea is a clown.
Yeah, but I think AD is hearing all of Clay's concerns, and she's saying that she'll be there to help. But I think at the same time, she's not going to stay around and get mistreated. I don't get that sense from her.
I don't know. This scene really made me look at AD very differently.
Okay.
Because it I just sense that, like, oh, you need probably some help with yourself, AD, a little bit.
Okay.
Because when she kept talking about, like, he's a looker, he's gorgeous, he's good look, when she kept complimenting his looks to a man, it's one thing if a guy is saying that to his guy friends, to the thing like, man, she look good, bro. Trust me, she look good. You know what I mean? It comes out very different when a woman is saying that about the guy to, like, her mom.
I guess. I didn't think of it as that
right,
strange. No. But I do feel like there might be insecurity issues with the man is telling you he's not coming home and he's fearful of cheating. Like, that's where I pick up her insecurity issues off of that.
Yeah. I don't trust AD.
Yeah.
Go on.
Johnny is meeting Amy's dad. Mm-hmm. Johnny explains his upbringing. He has a close-knit family. He is in software sales now, but he wants to become an account executive and retire early. Her dad came to Charlotte when Amy was 5, and he says that Amy's a wonderful person and has been a positive impact in a lot of people's lives. As a father, he wants someone to be there for her when he's no longer there, and he's been praying for someone to be that person for her. Johnny wants it to be a good transition for the family. He wants to come in, and he knows it'll be a change, but he wants it to be as positive as it can be. Johnny asks for the father's blessing, and he says yes.
That's the only thing that stood out to me in the scene was that these people are meeting with these people's parents and things like that.
Yeah.
Especially Clay from last scene, and he did not ask the mother for the blessing.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? I was like, oh yeah, you do got to get these people blessing, even though they on the show and things like that. I'm like, yes, it may seem kind of strange that they got engaged first because they on the show, but I'm like, I thought that was a good gesture of him to be like, can I have your blessing in this?
And I think that's a respectful thing, but I also feel like Johnny is a lot more mature, leaps and bounds, not only beyond Clay, but a lot of the guys.
If not all the guys.
Yeah.
If not all the guys. Yep.
Yeah, so I feel like Johnny's very mature, and I think he's considering everybody involved and not just himself.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Facts.
Chelsea and Jimmy.
Yeah.
Jimmy was happy about how the event went with the family when they went out to eat. Chelsea was cranky with him earlier in the morning, but she really loves him. Apparently, the camera crew left the night before, and he headed out to a bar to hang out with his friend for the friend's birthday.
Yeah.
She was already in bed, and she tried to say that he didn't invite her, but he was like, you were already in bed. You were done for the night. You were not about to come out. He was only gone for about an hour. The girls in the pods apparently were there and were saying that he was out, and they were asking where Chelsea was. That was embarrassing for her. Chelsea doesn't want to be with someone who wants to be out and partying all the time. And he tells her, I really only like to go out socially. Last time I've been out was like 3 months ago. And she says, well, that's the same thing for me. I've been focusing on us. And I don't want to be with somebody who wants to be out and about instead of focusing on what's important.
Girl.
Apparently she felt in the pods, he said he didn't like going out. And he was like, I say I like going out occasionally. 3 months is occasionally.
I would think so.
For a friend's birthday, I feel like that's okay.
Yeah.
And Chelsea found out Jimmy was there with his girlfriends. Or at least she thought he was. She asked, who were you with last night? Where did you go, when you work? Who do you text all day? And Jimmy says, look, I can take a step back from hanging with my girlfriends, but you haven't even asked me to do that.
Yeah.
If you want me, you have to accept my friends. And he says, but you can ask me. And she asked him to take a step back. And he says, I'm not willing to.
Facts.
Chelsea, well, he says that he hasn't had a physical relationship with his girlfriends, or he doesn't.
He said he doesn't have a physical relationship with them.
And Chelsea was like, well, you told me that you effed her. And he didn't want to bring that up on cameras.
No,
because he said it was a one-time thing. It's not like we're still physical.
Yeah.
That's in the past. He went out with his frat brothers, and he was not with Jess. She brought up Jess's name, and he thinks that she's just fishing because she's feeling insecure. He doesn't think being gone for an hour and a half is unreasonable, but the conversation is. Jimmy says, you're sitting here drunk, telling me you don't want to be with me anymore. If you want to move on and apologize, we can. But if you really feel like I'm full of ish and I don't love you and I don't care about you, then I don't want to be with you either.
Facts.
All he can do is try to get her to trust that he'll be a good husband. He's over the conversation, and he tells her this isn't going to work.
What did you think about that scene, Blair?
Well, Chelsea goes into the bathroom and asks him please not to leave.
Okay.
Yes. What I think about it, once he said she was drunk, that made all the sense to me.
Did it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm like, okay, she is stuck in her feelings right now, and there is no getting through to her at the moment. She's just upset that he went out. And I don't even know if she was upset at the time that it actually happened. It could have been something like when the girl said that they were asking about her, and she's like, oh no, like people are seeing me without him. That makes me feel weird. Now I'm embarrassed. Now I got to tell him. And like, it's like all these issues. Like first you're mad that he went out. Now you're upset that he texts his friends and he hang outs with them. And I can understand wanting to put distance between that relationship, but it just felt like she was compounding on multiple issues. And I felt like, I think that she does feel this way about all these things, but it wasn't a time for them to have that conversation. She wasn't in her right mind to really like work on an understanding.
So has Chelsea been drunk this whole time from episode 1 to episode 10?
I don't know.
So we gonna assume that she has been, because her how is this insecurity any different than any other insecurity that she has?
I don't feel like it's any different. And honestly, I think you're right in a sense that none of the conversations about Chelsea's insecurities tend to go well.
So my thing is so what does her having to be drunk have to do with this scene? Let me get into Chelsea.
Well, let me answer the question.
It
was rhetorical?
It was rhetorical, but go ahead, though.
I forgot the question now.
Okay, well, let me get into Chelsea.
Okay.
Right? I'm only speaking on the characteristics of Chelsea. I don't know this woman. I don't want to know this woman. But Chelsea is a clown. She's a manipulator. She's a liar. She's insecure, right? All those things. It's one thing to be insecure, but you're a manipulator and you're a liar, right? Mm-hmm. How many times do you say you didn't do something or you did do something and then you have to be corrected by Jimmy and be like, I did do that. I did invite you. Or like, I knew you wasn't going to want to go out. And then what happens is she's that type of lady that shows that type of characteristics, the way she would smile in the girlfriend's face and be all nice with the girlfriend's face. Oh, I really like y'all. Because remember, he introduced his female friends to her.
And she felt like she wanted to be friends with them too.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. But now all of a sudden you got a problem. And then off camera, when I actually give you something because I want to trust you and things like that, be like, you know what, I want to be forthcoming about something. Me and her did have sex only one time. It was nothing. And I just wanted to let you know off camera, and I would ask that you don't bring that on camera because I want to protect at least her and also protect myself as well, because it's going to look one way when it really wasn't that. And she completely crossed the boundary. She keeps crossing his boundaries for her benefit. And now she keeps saying, I love you, I love you. Let me tell you something about that word, I love you, right? The main reason why I don't like saying I love you all the time, especially as much as they do, is because after a while it sounds condescending when there's no actions behind it. What have she done to actually like prove or to actually show some security? At first he's out with the girlfriends and things like that. Who are you texting? And then now all of a sudden she's like, Mackenzie said, where's Chelsea? And that makes me look bad. Then all of a sudden she's like, you're with Jess. He said, I haven't seen Jess in person yet. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen Jess except for that picture that quote unquote Jeremy showed me. Well, did you say she looked like a Kardashian? I never said that.
Right.
So what do you do to those type of people? You leave them. You have to leave them. There's no getting into them.
Yeah, there's no talking.
No. It has nothing to do with being drunk and things like that. She has insecurities that only benefits her. And the things about it is she got with Jimmy by lying. It was one point of the conversation where I was like, Jimmy, let it rip. Because she called him a liar. Right? In the beginning while they was outside. He should have said, well, you lied to me when you said you look like Megan Fox. It was on the tip of my tongue. I was like, come on, man. And my thing is, at this point of the episode, I was happy as I don't know what. Mm-hmm. When he said, I don't want to do this. I was like, oh my gosh. James. Because my thing is, like, Jimmy wasn't one of my favorite people in the cast, but he made, like, she is such a villain. Her characteristics is just a villain that you have no reason but to cheer for Jimmy. Because I'm like, what's your problem? After a while, what is your problem? And I do not at all blame alcohol in this. Alcohol played no part in this, in my opinion. And we go show, and I'm going to show you how that's facts in the next scene with them too, and things like that. But I got more to say, but I'm going to wait till the next scene with them and to dig a little bit more into that.
Okay. Yeah, overall, I did feel like Jimmy should have just like ended the relationship right then and there, which I thought he was what I thought he was going to do, because how do you get somebody to believe that you love them and you care about them? And if you think I'm this vindictive, nasty person out trying to hurt you, no. Like, what's the point? What's the point?
She is a clown.
What is the point?
She showed characteristics of a clown. I don't know her.
Well, Clay and AD. They're talking about how the dress fitting is Sunday. Her sisters are going to be flying in to go with her. And they have to do their marriage license application. I think they did it like online. Okay. They did it pretty quickly because she talked about how she had to click deceased for her father. Okay. Clay says that his dad cheated year 7 into the marriage. He doesn't want to ever cheat again.
Yeah, he can talk about his father's past.
Yes. AD asks, is that the biggest thing that you're worried about, is if you're going to cheat? Mm-hmm. And Clay watched some old Love is Blind episodes, and he said some of the men who were ready for marriage were really mature and they spoke well.
That was strange to me.
And he doesn't feel that he expresses himself maturely enough. He asks, why is this date so important? Like the wedding day? Why is that date so important? And he thinks if it's love, then they just love each other. AD is fine with getting a yes or no at the altar, but she's not okay with being a long-term fiance. They came into this process with committing to a certain timeline, and that's important to her. If he were to say no, she would not be dating him after the fact, and that actually seemed like a surprise to him. He says that a relationship isn't something he's good at leading. He's not very confident that he can be a husband, and he needs her help, and she's okay with that.
What is your thoughts, Blair?
Oh, this scene, you were upset with the Chelsea scene. This scene got me upset.
How so?
Because Clay knows he's mature and he's not ready for marriage. And AD is willing to do what? You say you're willing to follow him off a cliff. He's telling you that he cannot lead you. To your face. He's telling you, I can't do it. I'm not confident in it. And I need you to help me.
Verbatim.
So what are we doing here? Now, does Clay just need somebody to take a chance on him and be with him and try to see if they can build a man? Possibly. But AD, do you want to be the one? Because a lot of the women who build these men up, the guy ends up doing them wrong and they're built up for the next one.
AD said she is the one. Remember back in the pod, she said that she's usually the one that see the red flags and she paint her nails red and things of that nature and she build a brother and all these things. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So I'm just like, AD, I really think she is listening to what Clay is saying, but does she really think that she could make him into a different person? I'm not convinced that she feels that way. Part of me feels like she wants to just continue on the show, but the other part of me is nervous that she really believes that he can lead her in life, even though he's telling her that he cannot. And he's saying how much he needs to lean on her and he needs his ego stroked and all these types of things. Like, I'm sorry, like, you don't have to come 100%, but you have to be confident enough in the fact that you can lead yourself and you are confident in your own decisions to the fact that, yes, I'm ready for marriage and I'm ready to do what's best for our family, which starts as just the two of us before we even have kids. And if you're not confident that you can do what's best for two people, why am I going to entrust you with my life and with my children's lives? Like, I'm not going to take that risk. You figure you out, go to therapy, because he keeps saying he ain't been to therapy. Go do what you need to do so that you can come prepared, at least a little bit better.
And to compound those two scenes together, the beginning scene of AD and Clay with the mother and this scene. Yeah. This is the difference that I wanted to point out between AD's insecurity and Chelsea's insecurity. Chelsea's insecurities has the intention to manipulate. Hey, I feel some type of way about you going out with your female friends. I don't want you to do that because it makes me feel. It's manipulation. It's a way to control to get what you want. AD's insecurity is in a way to where I don't think she recognizes value. So it's kind of like I feel like I can sell her a fake Gucci purse or something because she don't understands like authentic real value, because Clay is saying these things. As you said about he's being verbatim. This is not a paraphrase. He said, I'm not a good leader. You get what I'm saying?
Specifically for relationships.
Specifically for relationships. But he's so...
What are we talking about?
But he's so prepared when he ready to rent out those jet skis. He's so prepared when he want to rent out those boats and those Airbnbs. And he's so prepared when he got his house and his whole life together. But this one thing that have to do with being a leader, oh my goodness, I don't know what to do. Yeah. Come on, man. And I think... AD, her insecurity speaks in ways to where she try to make it feels good. She think that's normal, to where she was like, sometimes things that you're not good at leading, I lead, and things that I'm not good at leading, you're lead. That's not what he said. No, he's saying that when it's my time to lead, I ain't gonna be able to do it. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I view AD very different in this light in this episode, because I'm like, okay, he doesn't have any substance. I don't care. Listen here, be careful of those people that have vomit of the mouth. Just because they talking doesn't mean they're good at communication. And I think Clay just have vomit of the mouth. He just talks. Yeah. And he talks until he finds the right sentences to say. It's like blah, 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 blah. I watched the last episodes of Love is Blind. I thought that was strange to bring up old episodes of Love is Blind when you're a current contestant on it right now. I was like, what are you trying to sell me? And then he just trying to pull on something that quote unquote AD is so quick to cover up, and he's just like blah 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 blah. Yeah, I'm not really good at this, and she's like, oh yes, like it's okay. We both go guess, and he's like, I got her.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So I think AD just needs to be a little more confident herself. Stop looking at the external things about how y'all look externally and like, you know, he's gorgeous and things. That really rubbed me the wrong way. I'm on that. When she kept talking about he's a looker, he's gorgeous, ain't he? When women or someone of an authoritative position as a parent look at, is this person going to be good for my daughter? You can't convince me that, oh, he's good because he's a looker.
Yeah.
He's good because he's gorgeous. She said that 4 times throughout the date.
Right. And there really weren't any other things that she said to really boost him up. She said he didn't come home. And he's handsome.
Yes. And it sounds crazy because what it sounds like is he didn't come home and that made me feel sad, but he's handsome.
Yeah.
If you were to put the sentences together.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Well, moving on, Chelsea and Jimmy.
Yeah.
Jimmy doesn't trust Chelsea's judgment.
Okay.
This is the day after the argument.
Mm-hmm.
He went on a walk. He realized that he wanted to be there for her and be proud to call her his wife. He felt betrayed, and he decided he didn't want to get married this morning.
Yeah.
Chelsea asks, so you're saying no? And Jimmy tells her, it hurt my feelings that you don't think I love you.
Mm-hmm.
He feels he fought for her, but you're saying I don't love you, I don't give you enough affection, and I'm giving you my all. Chelsea apologizes for her delivery. She knows she was horrible, but doesn't think he should throw in the towel. She says drinking and talking about her feelings isn't healthy, and when things get tough, she needs to know he won't walk away. She felt more in love with him yesterday than she ever was. That's that manipulation piece that I see. She asked, what can I do to make you feel this could be a yes? And he needs her to never cross the line. She said, same for you. That's annoying too. And they shouldn't go at each other's character. He's willing to give it another shot. He forgives her for the other night. He loves her. They kiss and make up.
Jimmy, you deserve everything you get if you stay with Chelsea. Also, this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I don't like this type of stuff, right? To where she can't even be wrong by herself. She says it was his fault, too, of what happened. That's why when you said, you know, once the alcohol happened, like, I could kind of see it. Was she drunk for 10 episodes? Because this is this is her character.
They might have all been liquored up a little
Matter of fact, I just remembered you might be right, actually.
I mean, they
16 to 18-hour shooting days, no solid foods. You're looking.
I mean, I think liquor has played a part.
You might be right.
But I do think that she has these issues, but I definitely think liquor can exacerbate stuff.
You checkmated me.
Yeah.
I knocked down my king.
Okay?
Listen. Chelsea is a clown, or show characteristics of a clown, because she uses her insecurities to manipulate, to control. And Jimmy, first of all, as a guy, let me speak from a guy perspective. There's not a lot of times that you could come back from feeling betrayed. He said, you crossed all my boundaries last night. I feel betrayed, right? Jimmy's there like, I had to convince myself to love you. Because you lied to me, first of all. First of all, this relationship started with a lie. She's still going on with these lies and insecurities. I don't know if Jimmy got the bandwidth to withstand her insecurities. Because even when she's confronted with it, she's like, well, you did some things too. What did Jimmy do last night? Literally, what did Jimmy do last night?
Yeah.
He didn't do anything. And then at the end of it, one thing that I do not like, when you've been wrong, do not try to come next to me talk about, I can't be mad at you when you got those pants on. I'm not trying to be goofy right now.
Yeah.
I'm still steaming down. You get what I'm saying? I think Jimmy should have left the relationship. I would have been happy as I don't know what to see Chelsea lose and to see her. No, I'm serious. Because I told you what type of woman Chelsea is. You got to be careful because her insecurities doesn't make her weak.
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted. Chelsea is the type of woman to go off of her insecurities and to cheat on you because someone told her she looked beautiful that one night. So you could be doing all these things, saying I love you and all these things. And at the end of the day, she would cheat on you because you went to a birthday party with 8 guys or 7 guys and 2 girls. Yeah. It wasn't even my 2 female friends that was there.
Right.
And then she would put the onus on you. You don't play with people like that.
Yeah.
Because I think she's insecure, but she's in full control. That's why I don't like it when she says I love you, because it's condescending. She haven't shown anything of love to Jimmy. No understanding.
Just attachment. Just pure, just clinginess.
For her benefit. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm like,
not actually care and love for him as a person,
no,
and making sure he's okay and healthy and in a
no.
good state of mind. Like, everything goes back to her and her insecurities.
And Jimmy had to convince himself by staring in the mirror saying, she do look like Megan Fox. She do look like Megan Fox. She do look like Megan Fox. And he finally convinced himself and he loves you now. And now you all of a sudden acting like a nut.
Yeah.
That's craziness. Jimmy, you deserve everything that comes to you for forgiving Chelsea, because Chelsea's not going to change. This is who she is. Mm-hmm. And granted, remember, if you remember in the pods what she said, I need a secure man. I'm paraphrasing. I need a secure man because I'm a flight attendant. So I be gone for periods of time, and I don't need no guy to basically be like, where are you, and things like that. And she did the exact same thing to this guy when he was just down the street at the bar.
Yeah.
You're just lying to my face now.
Yeah.
I'm done with that.
All right. Well, all the couples get together for a lake day.
Yeah.
Amy heard about Jeremy hanging out with Sarah Ann. All the ladies are in a group talking.
Yeah.
Laura thinks that Sarah Ann is selfish and immature, but he made the commitment to her. She went home to take a break, and she hasn't heard from him since.
Yeah.
Jeremy arrives. He's nervous to speak to Laura. He tried to send her flowers. He texted her trying to get her address, and she was nasty to him. He doesn't want to fight for that. Jimmy says that after talking to Chelsea about their issues, they had to fight. Trevor arrives. Then Jessica and Mackenzie arrives.
Okay.
Chelsea thinks that Trevor is handsome. Jessica's a little bit nervous, and Laura isn't wearing her ring.
Okay.
Jimmy feels really awkward. Jimmy says Jessica is really good looking, and he pulls her for a one-on-one chat.
I like this scene.
He shares that that Chelsea met the family, and it was easy. Things went well. They had their biggest fight, and it's been a roller coaster of a ride. Jessica wants Jimmy to be good to Chelsea. He says that he gets nervous around Jessica, and he felt a lot of pressure with her. And Jessica says, well, you read my letter out loud, and then you were dead silent. Like, how would anyone react to that? She lost it when he told Chelsea that he loved her. He apologized. She accepts it. Jessica tells him, like, you never really flat out said how you felt about me.
Facts.
And he thinks she is the smartest person he's ever met. They hit it off from day one for sure. He cares about her, and she's still his number one, but he is scared of her. She'll find the guy that's right for her, and she admits that it still stings a little bit, but she's happy for them. And then they do talk a little bit about her EpiPen comment.
Yeah.
And she was like, honestly, I'm the one who needed it, because when I tried to give you a handshake, you gave me a hug, and I was like freaking out inside.
Girl, he still need an EpiPen. Was this the end of this episode?
Yes.
Let's go back to the top and run through each person slowly again.
Okay.
To start me off, when Jeremy walked in.
Yeah. Well, first it was Amy talking to Laura about Sarah Ann.
Yeah. Jeremy, I hate the fact that you made me side with Laura.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of Laura at all. You get what I'm saying? But the fact that you were so wrong, and like basically put us in that position as viewers to basically be like, yeah, you tripping, I will never forgive you for that. Yeah. Jeremy, you're also a gaslighter. You showed up there talking about like, how can I, or why would I work out with someone who's nasty to me and talk to me mean and things of that nature, when I tried my best to try to fix things and things of that nature, but you showed up there in a Hawaiian shirt. Yeah,
he knew he was starting some mess.
He knew he was going there to basically make her upset. So I'm like, Jeremy, you come off as a, I hate when people just throw this word out there, narcissist, but you definitely think of yourself very differently and maybe even highly than we see on the screen.
Yeah.
There's no way to explain what you did, and you just can't. What if you came in with the expectations, or if you had the intentions throughout the week to make up to Laura, and she wouldn't send you her address that you could send flowers or a gift for, you knew that you would go see her at the lake house. How can you bring flowers?
Yeah, he was done fighting by then.
But my thing is, I think even his quote unquote intention to fight was not real.
Yeah, I don't really believe anything Jeremy
I don't
says.
believe nothing Jeremy comes off as someone who has a lying problem. You get what I'm saying? Like someone that goes to therapy and counseling for lying, right? I understand Clay had to work, and eventually he does get there, but it's a lot of times like AD is showing up there without him, and I understand people got to work, and eventually he does come. Who else?
Laura.
Oh, when Jessica saw Jimmy.
Yeah.
Right? Jessica came there. She had the yitties out and things like that. And she was like, and one thing I will say, Jessica's personality did show out more in this scene than I did see in the pods.
Okay.
In the pods, I just felt like she kept talking about her kid and things like that, how much she adored her kid. But now I can see like what Jimmy was saying about how she's quick on her feet. She's witty in some ways. I do felt like, seeing Jessica now, especially the day after the fight, and Jimmy, great day to wear a hat, boy. I mean, he wore the hat. He had the shades. He actually looked a step better than he normally does. Great day to wear a hat. She said, "Oh no, not the church hug." You know, hey, listen here. She was nervous and things like that. What else happened? I'm trying to remember.
You're like retelling the thing. That was it. They had their talk.
What's that guy with the mullet?
Trevor,
right? Trevor, you dodged a bullet, brother.
Yeah.
You dodged a big bullet. But anything else that you want to share throughout this episode before we get into episode 11?
I mean, pretty much just about Jimmy and what's her name, Jessica's conversation. I thought it was really respectful. Mm-hmm. I was glad that she didn't down Chelsea. When she was hanging out with Laura and talking about, should she hit Jimmy up or all this type of stuff. Like, I thought maybe she was really going to try to wreck shop on their relationship.
I'm still hoping.
But she actually came in very respectful and didn't try to rock the boat. And I feel like Jessica needs a stronger man. Jimmy is too weak for her.
Really?
He's too weak for her.
You're not a fan of Jimmy James still?
It's not that I'm not a fan of his, but how are you telling this woman you're scared of her?
That is true. I don't understand how he's.
I don't think Jessica's anything to be scared of. I think that he just can't hang with her. Like, if she says that she doesn't like something or whatever the case, he can't just brush it away because it's not making sense like Chelsea. Mm-hmm. Jessica's probably coming with facts and actual things that he has to do in order to be a better partner for her. He actually has to work hard. With Chelsea, he really just has to talk in circles with her about her insecurities.
Not even, man. Trust me.
But that's hard. But I'm saying with Jessica,
it's more work with
Jessica, I feel like he actually has to be a better person, and I don't know if he wants to.
So you're not a fan of Jimmy James. Jimmy James.
It's not the fact that I'm not a fan, but I just think that Jessica does not need to be with him. I think Jimmy doesn't need to be with Chelsea, but he really doesn't need to be with Jessica.
Yeah, I would say when she told you how, like Jimmy James got a different recollection of what happened in the pods. I don't think he really remembered how silent he was after he read the letter, and then he gave her nothing.
Yeah,
and then just basically. Just read it off as if she just snapped on him. I was like, I don't think it happened that way. Mm-hmm. It happened in technicalities, but the context of her expressing herself and you just basically like hung up on her, basically. Yeah. I guess we gonna see what happens in the 11th episode.
Yeah.
Make sure that y'all watch this episode. Give us a thumbs up. Give us our 60 subscribers to get us to 1,000 subscribers. Finally, I've been asking for this since November. And I see y'all in the next episode.
Bye.